Today we have a special review. This is the Broadway Limited GE AC6000CW. This was the first diesel model released by Broadway in scale with Paragon 3, meaning it can sync with a Rolling Thunder system. I don't have one personally, and the store layout here doesn't have one yet, so I'm going to be going over the basics as far as details and sounds go. Now you will notice that I have the Southern Pacific model here. If you look at rosters, you'll see that SP never had any AC6000CW locomotives, seeing as they were delivered after the merger with Union Pacific. However, SP had ordered 3 units to be numbered 600 through 602, but they were delivered to the UP after the merger occurred. Some have pointed out, while we don't know for sure, it would have been likely that the SP would have requested high number boards mounted above the windows and high ditch lights above the walkway like they had on their AC4400CWs. Broadway has chosen to base the SP models off of UP's choice on the AC6000s, with the low ditch lights and low number boards. I also have here a CSX AC6000. Here we can see the 2 ditch light variations delivered in the 2 variants of the AC6000 Broadway has produced. The lighting on this model is a very big deal compared to other models in the N-scale market. Normally we can expect to see lit headlights, lit number boards if we're lucky, and lit ditch lights on most models that should have them, but not all of them. Broadway has come in here with not only nicely lit headlights and ditch lights and lit number boards, but also flashing ditch lights, which as far as I know has only been standard in N-scale in Atlas's C40-8 wide cabs, and Broadway has also put in cab lights as well. I'll go ahead and say it up front, these are really nice models, but they do have 2 fairly significant issues, out of the box at least. First of all, these models are very particular about how clean your track is. If it isn't pristine, they will find that spot and they will come to a halt right on it. It seems there is not any sort of capacitors on these, which they desperately need. This isn't just a problem with these models, but all of Broadway's engines. The M1s, PAs, and E units all suffer from the same issue of being extremely vulnerable to even minor dirt on the track. Expect to clean your track at least daily if you're running these, and if you're having issues, try cleaning your track. Secondly is, while they can make it around any turns that I have tried here with no problem by themselves, they like to pull cars off the track that are too long, or too short, or too light. That is why you will see these running later with what will be buffer cars of sorts. I have found that these will play nice with these engines and the cars that I was pulling behind it. This can probably be fixed by messing around with the couplers or replacing them with different kinds of couplers. You may have to mess around and find what works for you. Anyways, let's get back to looking at the details on this model. Looking at the front, you can see here's the plow with lots of nice hose detail on both sides, the microtrains coupler, the low ditch lights on the SP model, and the high ditch lights on the CSX. The handrail detail looks really good and is very sturdy. The cast-in details on this model I think might be a bit exaggerated, but they still look good and add a lot of depth to the model. Of course, there are lit number boards on both sides of the headlight, and there's a clear plastic window on the cast-in door, and there are cast-in steps going up the front of the cab. There are separately applied handrails on the top of the nose, plus the sand fill caps. And on the windows, there are cast-in windshield wipers. Also, front and center, you can see there's a hole where the deck light would be on the real units. As we move along the sides, you can see the crisp painting, and plenty of legible and illegible warning stickers. The truck detail is nice, but you can clearly see the copper pickups coming from the wheels right up to the chassis of the engine. However, maybe with a bit of paint, you could probably cover up most of the visible area without hindering the electrical pickup any. Just above is the inverter cabinet with some vents above that. You notice that the handrails on the inverter cabinet are kind of bent. That's like that on both models I have here, and I think that might just be an issue with the handrails rather than just this one model. I'll show you the side here, and you can see the great amount of rivet detail along the sides, as well as the ladder that goes up to the top of the engine on this side. Up top you can also see the horn and dual exhaust stack assemblies. On the back you can see the radiator overhang. There are also 2 large rectangular panels on the end of the radiator. I believe this was for number boards, but neither of these units have them and simply have the number painted on below the headlight. More nice handrails and brake hoses are here, but unfortunately there is a cast-in coupler cut lever. The other side here is mostly the same, besides having the brake wheel on this side. More nice cast-in details as we continue along, and as we come back around to the front you can see the GE builder's plate that is illegible. Here's a shot of the 2 coupled nose to nose, and you can see that there is quite a bit of space given by the microtrains couplers. I'll let you see some shots of both units and the CSX unit to show you some of the different decals on that unit. You can see here again that the CSX unit has painting and decals that are very nicely done and very crisp. Here's a nice close-up of the warning stickers on the CSX unit. Now let's take a look at the sounds on this engine.
Alright, here's the startup sequence. And we'll start off with the horn, the bell, coupler slack, which starts when you're moving, the compressor, which is going to be the dynamic brake when moving. You can ramp up and down the diesel engine with F5 and F6. F7 is the ditch lights on and off. F8 is mute, which works. 9 is startup shutdown sequence. F10 is the fan. Might be able to hear that. Air filling. Brake squeal. Or brake set, actually, and brake release again. A grade crossing horn. Which is... The annoying thing about this is the ditch lights stop flashing in between the horn blows, which is kind of annoying. (14) through 21 are Broadway Limited sound effects. If you want to hear those, you can go and look at a separate video because those are quite long. I'm going to do a separate video just of those. Function 22 is switch to second horn, so we'll do that. So now when we blow the horn, you can hear that there's a different horn now. 23 is track sounds, which just plays track sounds. 24 is auxiliary light control, which is the interior lights. 25, it plays a long horn. (26) allows you to play or record a macro and then, or play a recorded macro, and F27 lets you start and stop the recording of a macro. And then 28 is brake squeal, which we'll play here. Which I don't know that I can play just how this is because I'm not entirely sure how that one works. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and let this run.
I hope you found this video helpful, and hopefully you will have good luck with your own AC6000 from Broadway Limited. Thank you for watching.